I'm Kyle Meredith, and as promised, joined in the studio, Clarence Bucaro. Welcome to town.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. We were talking off mic, and you've been passing through town for a lot, and which is all you're doing today. You're just kind of passing through. There's no show, but that's kind of your history of Louisville, just sort of passing through without a show.
It is. I have some friends here, and I always kind of stop here and hang out for a minute, and yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here. You're out supporting a new record, which is called Pendulum.
Yep.
I had to look on that one. But you must be asking about this all the time too, because Pendulum is your latest record, and you've put a record out every single year since 2008, except for 2010. What happened in 2010?
That's a good question. Well, I think I think it really was, there was a gap between 2007, 2010, and I just put out an old record that had never really been out in 2008. So basically, I've been going strong, one record a year for I think 5 or 6 years, and then there was a long period in between there where I had just moved to New York, and I was on a label called Rounder Records, and after that there was a little bit of lag time. I think there was 5 years between a new record from that point on, 4 or 5 years. So
it just looks like you've been consistently busy this whole time.
Yeah, I've been consistently busy since I think 2012 was and then since then it's been 5 years, 5 records. Yeah,
I mean that's still incredible. We're not going to shake that off like no, that's nothing or anything. Like that's incredible. To put that kind of music out, and I don't know what you can attribute that to because, you're a dad, multiple kids,
2, yeah.
You're based in Brooklyn. We should mention that. So, having to tour every single one of these records in itself, that's a feat. And then to continuously be writing, I don't know, where do you find the time to write?
Well, I guess I start right away usually when I'm done with the record, and I'm home with my 2 boys and have been for the past 5 years. So it's been nap time and then at night and just kind of I found that being in a perpetual state of kind of looking for lyrics and a piece here and a piece there has been how I've been doing it, rather than say okay, I'm gonna stop writing for 5 or 6 months and then because I don't know if I'd be able to get back in with that way. So it's airplanes. Anytime I'm on a plane, I write like crazy. So any free moment I have, I'm working on it. So.
You mentioned something. It seems like that's always the fear of the artist. Like, will the next song come? And I like your way to skirt past that. Just don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, this is actually the longest period I've ever gone without writing right now. So I'm not sure I'll be delivering the 6th in 6 years.
Did I just screw this up? Did I?
Yeah, just jinxed it right here.
Is that?
I'm going to try, but it's going to be tricky.
Well, I want to talk about your new record here in just a moment. I'm talking with Clarence Bucaro here on 91.9 WFPK. I thought maybe, though, we'd get a song out of you first. Is this from the new record, Pendulum?
Yeah, this is from the new one. It's called Tragedy.
All right, it's 91.9 WFPK.
Another half-empty theater, another night with no roles, another half-amused crowd, and a mild applause. And you're made up so pretty for the final love scene, when the hero appears and sweeps you off your feet. And you play this part every time. And it always ends in the same storyline. In your tragedy, that's where you want me to be. In your tragedy, playing a role that I just don't know. In your tragedy, and love ain't an act or lines from a scene. It's the everyday living through the little things. When the red curtain closes and you take your last bow, yeah, you look so confused that it was just a show. And Ophelia's mask is torn in two. and the light of day is blinding you. In your tragedy, that's where you want me to be. In your tragedy, playing a role that I just don't know. In your tragedy, playing a role that I just don't know. In your tragedy, oh, that's where you want me to be. In your tragedy.
Clarence Bucaro here on 91.9 WFPK. I kind of didn't want that to end. Back and nice. It's a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. The new record, again, is called Pendulum. You know, we were talking about how much writing you do. Do you find then with that kind of consistency, though, in albums that, you know, there will be that overarching theme on every single record? Because it seems to me like when you're writing that much, you know, it's probably like just a few ideas that kind of separate themselves in a lot more songs. Is that the case with you?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think in general, each year, like some themes present themselves, and it's just kind of like I wrote a ton of songs each time, like maybe 20, and it's just that a lot of them had similar themes, and a lot of them were, you know, the biggest difficulty is finding the variance in each one to make it like these 10 songs go together, but are different enough, but you know the thread's still there. So yeah, I think there is. If I was to look back, I think each year, each record does have a very distinctly different theme, which there hasn't been. I guess there's probably a lot of potential for some cross stuff when you do every year, but each one's been pretty different thematically, I feel like, but then within that course, yeah, a lot of similarities.
Yeah, being a musician and having a catalog, it's always like an interesting yearbook on your life, like that you could. I mean, I hear that all the time from people. Like you get to flip back and like there I was then, and there I was then.
Absolutely, yeah. Often, if I need to remember what I did a year, it's the first thing I do is think of the record, what was going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Are there any of those years you just flip by very quickly? Like we don't need to revisit that one.
Yeah, absolutely. There probably are. I mean, I think I've done 9 records, and I think there's a couple in the middle. I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't need to remember either that record or that period. So.
With that many songs left over, what happens to your lost dogs?
It's funny. They some of them come out later, you know, but a lot of them just that's it. If they didn't make it, they're they're retired. But some of them will come back. On this last record, there's one song called "Quiet Man" that made it back. That was supposed to be on the last record. Mm-hmm. But you know, some of them ever so often I'll play live, but or I'll get an idea. Like that song was actually started as an old song maybe about 8 years ago, and then I completely rewrote it. But sometimes an idea from a song will come back years later or something. So they don't necessarily go to the graveyard right away, but
right away.
Yeah, a lot of them do. And then,
just wait, guys. Just wait. We'll see if you get out of here or not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like holding them in a little prison cell.
Absolutely.
There's also a story on this record of you writing with Alison Moore, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did that come about?
I saw her. Let's see. We did a festival together in Florida maybe about 4 years ago or so, and we stayed in touch. We both live in New York, and so we should work on something together. And kind of waited for the right time to do something. We wrote a song together, and then thought we'd do it. Yeah,
and here it is. That conversation happens so often about we should do a song together. We should write it, and it rarely
happens.
Ever happens.
Yeah, with this one, and I had forgotten that we had planned on doing that, and then it was at the end of the record writing phase. I had 21 songs, but I felt like only 9 album tracks. So I was like, I need something a little different. Actually, to the point you made earlier, I wanted something with a little bit of a different perspective. Actually, I was like, I need something a little more upbeat or a little more different point of view. And it didn't turn out to be different or
so you bring in the next person, someone else.
It ended up being even slower and sadder. But it's definitely a different perspective and a different sound. So it worked out well. But yeah, I had forgotten. Yeah, you say that to so many people, like, we should do something, and it was nice to make this
Don't
one
ever
happen.
be afraid of putting on another slow, sad song.
Exactly.
The world cannot get enough.
No, I guess not, right? And I can't get it up either.
Clarence Bucaro here on 91.9 WFPK. The new record is Pendulum. He's just stopping by. Hopefully we'll have you back in town for a show.
Absolutely.
Sometime really soon.
Yeah.
But before you leave, another song?
Yep. Sounds good.
It's 91.9 WFPK. What do we got here?
I think I'm gonna do. This song is to my boys, Brooke and Taj. I think they're listening out there in the car right out in front. So
Awesome.
it's called "Watching You Grow." It always surprises the things you know, the little things you say, the insight that it shows. You were just my little baby, sitting on my knee. Seems like yesterday you could hardly speak. Oh, and watching you grow is like nothing I've seen. Close your eyes and you miss something. Watching a rose as it grows from a seed. Oh, and watching you grow is amazing me. Baby blues in springtime greens. You're spinning hearts like a color wheel, feeling all new things. They're like learning how to love and how to care. And I am learning too with each change you bear. Oh, and watching you grow is like nothing I've seen. Close your eyes and you miss something. Watching a rose as it grows from a seed. Oh, and watching you grow is amazing me. The things that used to scare you one by one no longer do. The hurdles of your hopeful heart now you walk right through. Oh, and watching you grow is like nothing I've seen. Close your eyes and you miss something. Watching a rose as it grows from a seed. Oh, and watching you grow is amazing me.
Clarence Bucaro here on 91.9 WFPK Radio Louisville. Again, the new record is Pendulum. Thanks again for stopping by today.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and let's fix that problem of you playing in town.
I know. I definitely need to.
All right, take care out there on the road.